I'm very happy to introduce our Russian team to share with you the global audience on this Lean Global Connection Summit the such subject as doing effectively in the very changing office environment. And I introduce you my colleagues, my dear friends, Oleg Zupnik, who is in the top position at Philips, doing with processes, helping clients to organize those processes, and Dan, who is in Moscow office of Philips, doing the similar things, outstanding things for a long time already. I will not take too much time. We will have a few multiple choice, contests. So be ready to use a chat to reply. We will need your feedback, and Oleg will announce and give you 5-7 seconds periods of time. And then when you have questions, please write them in the chat, and I will be able at the end to moderate a few questions to Oleg and Dan. So it's your stage, Oleg and Dan. Go ahead.
Thank you, Slava. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Slava. Well, actually, guys, we are going to really deep dive into Lean in the office because we are doing Lean office for a long time, and we have some ideas how to drive it. During this presentation, we try to talk about how to start Lean initiative in office, how to make a breakthrough steps, because everyone expects Lean like a miracle. You come and everything changes for the better, which is true. And how to sustain, because improvement projects is not difficult. Difficult is how to embed it into culture. Yeah. First of all, about our company, about Philips. Yeah, everyone knows that Philips produces consumer products like shavers or electric toothbrushes, but not everyone knows that core business of Philips is healthcare. We are developing and building imaging machines, and we are building solutions in healthcare. We are building future of healthcare together with several companies. And just as a picture to remember, this is how a command center of big hospital or a network of hospital might look like, right? So it's completely Philips. Now, let's start with the Lean in Philips. And the story is definitely from Russia. It's happening in time we move it to onshore. What it means that before that, we were selling our equipment to distributors from the Netherlands. And at a certain moment, it was clear decision that we go to onshore, meaning we sell equipment to distributors from our warehouse in Russia. And what's happening at that time, you can see in the graph on top. It tells about account receivables. When you sell something onshore, you need to collect money because now it's your full responsibility. And the graph shows the red line, account receivables overdue, means that money we cannot collect was growing. From January to July, it went up to 47% of debts we cannot collect. And this is basically the start of the story. And we had no idea how to solve it. At that time, we decided, let's apply Lean. So Lean in finance, Russia, collecting money from distributors, healthcare. Right. First, when you start saying this, let's apply Lean, you meet some obstacles. And mainly, these are mental obstacles. For example, why we are talking about Lean in office? Everyone knows that Lean in manufacturing works well. Everyone remember Toyota or other companies. But what about office? That's first. Second, we have our Lean experts, of course, and Dan was the one who was sent to apply Lean in this situation. And people usually say, Dan has no university degree in finance. How come he can help us with his coaching on Lean in our terrible, difficult situation. And the last point is that people always say, okay, Lean, it is something cultural. It is about Japan. Russia is different. And indeed, if you look into map on the right, which I took from the culture map book of Erin Meyer, Russia and Japan in many cases are opposite. At least at three out of 8 points are completely opposite cultures. So there was no trust in Lean whatsoever. And now I'd like first to ask a question to you. Maybe I give you 7 seconds you to self-reflect. What blocking opinions, thoughts prevail in your organization? Do people believe that Lean is also only about manufacturing? Do they need that you Lean experts to be experts in their field? Or they believe that Lean is all about Japan and it's not applicable for your country? Please, 7 seconds. Reflect in the chat box. Yeah, we go further. Dan, could you please tell us what was the most difficult blocking issues?
All was difficult at this time, since I remember. So I was entered to this battlefield, have no clue at the beginning what accounts receivable means, and especially what accounts receivable overdue is. And when I look into the problem, I understand, oh my gosh, it's a huge area to improve. And obstacles around in every direction I try to go. And finance department, who from my perspective should be interested most in collecting money, they say that it's too difficult to change the situation because there is simply lack of cash at the customer side, and we cannot do much with this. And also there was an attitude saying that we are too busy. It's too difficult for us to run the Lean project. We are too busy. And it reminds me about the sharpening saw principle of famous Stephen Covey book. But nevertheless, no one was thinking that Lean is something need to be embedded in their daily work. And it was considered as a extra work on top of regular duties. And that's why there was a huge pushback. So no one was really interested to support from the very beginning moment. In the sales area, also there was a number of feedback saying there is simply no money, so no budget, nothing is resolved. So that's why the customers, they're not paying for us. And by the way, the leading role is in credit and collection. So why we as a sales need to interact with this? So we are selling the equipment, we are selling the solutions, and the rest is a work of credit department. So that lets them solve the issue. Talking with distributors, with the partners, we also understand that we simply don't have this culture and at this moment to requiring all the prepayments to be done on time. And of course, they feel that they can play with the Philips and they can delay with the main payment later. So this was the environment where we started.
Yeah, thank you. And what to do, basically, how to overcome this first obstacle? Because if you cannot do this, you cannot make Lean at all. First of all, this quotation from Mike Rotter, we have to move from what we can improve to what we should improve. So you should not apply Lean to everything, only the most important, the most difficult projects. In this case, this was account receivables overdue. And you need to clearly identify the burning platform and agree about this with the top management. In our case, I had a direct conversation with our CFO in the market, and we agreed, this is the issue which keeps him awake in the night. You see, by August, when we were talking about August, overdue reached 57.6%, while expected overdue was not more than 5.9%. At the same time, that majority of overdue already overcome the barrier of 90 days. So it's really old. That's why we agreed to send the most senior Lean expert down to the project. That's first. Second, you need to establish governance structure. So we had our CFO and myself in the management team in the country, like executive sponsors. So basically, we put it very high on top of agenda of management team. Second, we we found co-owners, people who will be leading the initiative, senior people, not part of management team, but ready to grow. And we allocated significant resources from different departments. We formed multidisciplinary team. And of course, everything is possible only when you have internal coach. And Dan was the coach who was supporting the team. Now, okay, now we are there. How to make a breakthrough? We have a lean project, everything agreed is important. What to do next? Here, this is the core message, what we learned here in Philips continuous improvement. When we talk about situation analysis, there might be a problem, or problems are always there. Basically, entropy does not sleep. And you can expect problems, small, medium, and big on daily basis. That's why you have to activate what we call 4 lines of defense. First line is daily management. You have to watch and look into for simple, easy to solve problems, and when you can really talk 3 minutes to discuss and remove it from the way. Sometimes you need hours. Then we need to activate the problem solving, and you need to teach your teams to move to this new, completely different mode of operation, different pattern, and do problem solving offline. Yeah, sometimes problems are really huge. You do Kaizen events, or sometimes they're strategically important, and you do Hoshin. But first, you need to activate daily management and problem solving to address lean in office environment. Now the question, where to begin? Shall we start from daily management, or shall we start with problem solving? What is the first? Where the chicken and egg question? But still, this is so important. 7 seconds, please self-reflect. What would be number 1 to start with? Yeah, I don't see you guys, but I hope that the problem is really core for your success in a lean in office. That's why you have to think about this. And if you share with us, we'll be thankful. Now, Dan, please tell us how you solve this chicken and egg problem.
We started, frankly speaking, with the problem solving for the first moment. And as first attempt, I very quickly realized that we simply don't have data to move deeper. So we made a couple of first splits to understand where the problem is. But going deeper, we simply were missing all the data and all the information. And automatically, we switched to the mode of daily management. So we collect the team, we start daily management, we start meeting each day together and start understand what's going on, what is the backlog, how many issues we have, what is coming this week. And we start talking. We start talking with sales, we start talking with credit and collection, and we form this cross-functional team at the moment. What we applied later, so the board was up and running, and we understand that a kind of capability is needed for the team. So we conducted, we call it in Philips Bootcamp. We call it a daily management bootcamp. And it's a bit different from the regular training. So in training, you usually cover the theory and maybe you have some exercises. So daily management is more practical tool. On daily management, you of course provide some theory, you play some simulation games, and you have time and assignment for the team to prepare their own daily management board after this bootcamp. So at least you're covering the material 3 times during this event. So in theory, in a simulation, and in real practice. And as a result of the bootcamp, we had a much better and improved board. And also the team was competent enough to run this board on themselves. And the last but not least was the engagement of the people. So after they feel that they are the part of the problem, they automatically become the part of the solution.
Yeah, so the answer is you can start from both problem solving or daily management, but daily management can bring you to problem solving even if you don't have data. So daily management is our answer from Philips. Now, okay, we started and we understood the challenge. So we need to structurally decrease overdue of account receivables down to 5.9%. By the way, by the end of the year. You remember August time, we have 56%. And we have just several months left to reach the target. At the same time, we want to move to a proactive approach. We want to prevent appearance of account receivables overdue. And the task is really too difficult. People say sales, we cannot push distributors, they will stop selling us. Distributors say, Ministry of Health doesn't have money, what do you want from us? Account receivable, credit control tells we are too busy, it's too difficult, and other people, other departments are not involved. So this is a situation, and this is complexity. If you try to think about this at the same time, you're stuck. You simply cannot move any further. And the solution comes from the theory, right? Again, thank you to Mark Rotter. Yeah, by the way, before I give my answer, what were the reasons your improvement project got stuck, delayed in your office, in your environment? 7-second self-reflection, please. I think it's the most difficult, the most important question. So we need, if you understand what keeps you behind or what delays you, you can find a way out. But you need to make this hand-saying better with the team. Thank for those who are sharing your situations in the chat box. But we move forward. And as I told you, the answer for us was a Toyota Kata approach by Mike Rotter. Why? Because it's very clear that you cannot solve the whole issue within 2 months, just focusing on your challenge, on your vision, on your image of success. Because it's too difficult, it's too big, it's elephant, you cannot eat it in one bite. That's why we cut this whole story into pieces, and from one step to another. You remember we already told you that we started with daily management. And this was the first step, the first next target condition, which we started with and that helped us to move forward. The next one was problem solving. And Dan, can you tell us what problem solving told us in a certain period of time?
Before I go to the conclusions, first of all, let me remind you 3 big mental obstacles we had to overcome. Yeah. First of all, there was an opinion prevailing in our organization that all the issues are at the distributor side and at the customer side, and it's simply lack of cash. So people don't have money, that's why they are not paying. And this was very strong opinion. It was very difficult to overcome. The second was that the sales people, they are not responsible for collecting accounts receivable. Means they're closing the contract, but that's it. The responsibility was ending at this moment, and what is going next, it was not part of the interest anymore. And third big thing, we were working together that prepayments are rather small. It's very small amount of full contract, so that's why they are not so important, and no one really was looking carefully at this. So when we started our daily management, and in a certain moment we had enough data to analyze, we found very interesting picture. You can see graph on right side on top that 50% of the issue, 51% was indeed the cash flow, yeah. But the second part, 49% was disputes. Disputes is when customer is arguing to pay because he has some reasons not to pay. And if you go deeper with the second level Pareto, cash flow, interesting, yeah, surprise here. Cash flow is also dropping into the few buckets, and many of the buckets are responsibility of the Philips, of our company, like acceptance delay. It means that we still want to agree with the customer on certain things. We need to do something, and that's why customer is simply not accepting the the deal and not accepting the installation, for example, and not accepting the payment. Yeah, budget delay is quite a big portion, but it's only 35% out of 51. So it's not 100 as we hear at the beginning. Financial difficulties, they can happen, and payment discipline as well. If you go into the second big bucket, 49% of disputes, then again, we go deeper in understanding that there are internal Philips issues and processes we can influence and we can improve. Surprise, yeah, for the whole team, it was like a changing of paradigm. So so there was a very huge switch from blaming the customers and blaming the distributors that they don't have budget or they lacking the payment discipline to the real issues. We understand what's going on at Gamba, what is indeed what the customers are missing and what they want from us. And then every single thing here, they were converted to the actionable countermeasure.
Yeah,
Like?
and this one also very important. You see that if you sell it in Russia, you collect money as a prepayment, small amount, and big amount after completion of the project. And this graph tells us very simple: distributors don't pay prepayments, so prepayments are basically not paid, and this is one of the mental blocks we had. Yeah, we'll come back to this, Dan. If you don't want to comment now, then we go further.
Yeah.
So basically, you see this ladder. It is steps or next target conditions we went through. We launched daily management. Then we did a bootcamp. We educated the team, multidisciplinary team, what daily management is all about. Then they collected enough information because they were meeting daily, and they were analyzing all and every issues on the way, and they'll be able to make root cause analysis. And results was eye-opening. We can do a lot. It's a period, not 100% depend on Ministry of Health, some magician people who can give you money, but you can improve your services and immediately you change it for the better. Management team focus, I already told, we started with burning platform and CE4, but this time it became apparent for the whole management team of Philips in Russia. This is one of the top priorities because it's big money frozen. And it was part of top 3 topics management team is looking after. And at certain moment, it became clear that we need to transfer account receivable accountability to sales team. But it's not because I want or I don't want, but because we see the root causes, and what this is one of the most powerful countermeasure based on problem solving. And at a certain moment, I don't know if we have time for this, but we created a special advanced cadence for account receivable team, multidisciplinary team, to watch and sustain good results achieved. But let's look further how to sustain. Dan, could you please tell us the storyline?
On the screen, you have you can see the actual results of the project. So just remind you, the starting point was about 56% when we just entered this area and start doing the lean there. And just by focusing on the issue, just collecting the team and start talking and start daily management, we will significantly reduce the overdue from 56 to 22 something percent. Then the daily management bootcamp helped us to improve even further, and we were able to make the target for the first time ever. It was a huge success at this moment, but later we understand we were able to achieve the target, but we were not able to sustain. It means that we found some improvement points, but without drastic changes and transformation in the area, we cannot hold this result. And next big milestone in the project was transferring the lead to the sales, so to the Gemba, to the people who really influencing the situation. And this was the one of the biggest success factors in the end. And finally, we achieved our goal. And you see the situation is quite sustainable, and it's exactly where we expect to have it. The previous slide, we saw the quantitative results. So we reduced the whole overdue from 56 to 4%, but also the quality part improved. Quality means that the overdue aging is improved significantly. So if you have your overdue more than 90 days, these orange and red colors, that the probability of getting money back is drastically going down. Of course, if your overdue is quite fresh, then it's easy for you to at least react on something and try to collect them. And you see that by working on the quantity, we also improve the quality. So there was almost no overdue with the level more than 90 days.
Yeah, thank you, Dan. And basically, how to sustain? The answer is very simple, 2 words. You just need to activate your 2 line of defense in Office. Daily management, do it daily, and problem solving. When problem is bigger than you can solve within 3 minutes, do it problem solving, structural problem solving. Yeah, and Dan, could you please share with us the key success factors, the learnings we got from the project?
If you ask me if we know all these success factors from the beginning, I would say no. This is really the outcome. This is the learning we got from doing this project and from working as a team. And just let me explain them briefly. The first one is management support. Without management support, you cannot do much. If you don't have a strong sponsors, then it's very difficult to start doing the things. The second one is about the regularity, about the cadence. So we started daily, and then in certain moment we converted to weekly. But these weekly meetings were stone hard. Yeah, we fixed them in our schedule, and we conduct them every week, regardless of other activities and so on. So that's why it's helped to make it as a habit for the whole team. Leadership of sales, number 3. Yeah, leadership at Gemba, I would reformulate it. So really empower the people who can influence the things, who can really make change at the working place. Then, by doing this number 3, provide leadership at sales, we are going to number 4, accepting the consequences. Sometimes it's really hard to to say to your distributors, to your lovely partners, that sorry, we cannot ship you the equipment anymore until you pay us the prepayment. And it was a step was not easy to do. Then number 5 is preventive risk assessment. So looking not only backwards on what is already overdue, but looking forward. What are the upcoming projects? Can we do something there? Is there anything missing from our side? Is the delivery full and on time, and everything is clear? Number 6 is a cross-functional team. Only by doing this as a team of finance, sales, credit and collection, project management, and business transformation, we achieve the success. 7, last but not least, is a focus and discipline. Yeah, so it's thing that we need to do when we don't want to do it, but this is really important.
Thank you, Dan. And I invite everyone to self-reflect. Those 7 points, this is really written by blood, because we went through this terrible change management curve. I would call it change leadership. And can you self-reflect for 7 seconds and tell us which one of those seems to be the most important for you guys? 7 seconds. And Slava, I take over to you.
All right, and I think we have still 7 seconds till the end of the presentations, and the only thing I can do is to thank you for sharing your experience at Philips, and pass the word back to Brazil to Christopher.
Thank you guys. It was a great presentation, very clear, easy to understand. So thank you for sharing. Thank you, Philips. Thank you, Slava.